It's the 17th of the 8th, 2026, and I had a bit of a hangover, so I didn't really leave my apartment until, 3 o'clock, I can't remember what time it was. Anyway, I went on the bus to Glastonbury to have a look around for 30 minutes. Could have stayed longer. There was no psychics today or anything like that. The bike issue's been very bad, and obviously a hint of suggestions which will offend my father was pretty bad as well. But all in all, taking those two suggestions out of the equation, the setups were only about 50%, which is the lowest it's been for a long, long time. There's at least 60-70% daily, every day. But so there's a few things I want to mention. There's obviously I did have quite a few threats, so I had about 15 to 20, I can't remember how many, anything from telling me that you've got no choice but to go with a stay-away bag, or saying that you've had your fun, you've had your days, you've had sex or whatever, when I haven't. So you had all that. Obviously I've been mistaken as Sven. In fact, there was one person that mistaken me as Liam, which has not been occurring much recently. The vaping issue was bad, and people coughing and sneezing in my face is on the increase. There's a couple of suggestions that occur, but firstly I want to give you these t-shirt names and what's written on the side of Viracors in wording. It wasn't coming out as much as a message today, but it was some form of a message. A Terebinth Tree t-shirt occurred in my direction 3 times in the 30 minutes or whatever I was at Glastonbury. You had a couple of Goddess tops and a t-shirt that says no war business. But if you link that up, chain it up together with, in order to the other suggestions that were occurring throughout the afternoon, they were basically applying, taking the Goddess and Tree bit out of the equation, working on the principle of the overall suggestion of the setups. They have made a mistake. So all this noetic science technology, or all this what the CIA know in advance before it happens, or the programming this movement, the elite or the Illuminati or whatever, whoever's got like the power to know before it happens, in advance. Well, they have messed up, because they're making the suggestion that I'm in a sexual relationship with a sexy lady that's a lot younger than me, which is not true. But at the same time, they're making the suggestion there's going to be no warfare, or that they're not going to war. And I found that really unusual. That suggestion has never occurred ever before in that way. Never. But that's what was suggested. So basically applying that I'm in a sexual relationship, but with no indication of who the person is, but they think I'm actually with that person at this minute in time, whoever that person is. So they made a big boo-boo. And I don't quite know why that is being suggested. It's kind of a bit fucked up. So, but they're applying that I'm in that relationship at this minute in time. That's the thing, and I'm not, because I haven't found anyone, and there's no one single, and I've been violated. I've had to look for transgender instead of a woman, because quite literally by the age of 23 they're all mothers, and in some cases some of them are mothers before the legal age of consent in the UK. And quite literally everyone's in a sexual relationship before legal age of consent, so it's making it very difficult, leaving you with no options but to see if you can find that one random person out there that's single, or looking online just hoping that there's not scammers, when 99.9% of them are. So it's not very good. However, I am a bit annoyed about the suggestion that they're claiming that I'm in a sexual relationship with a beautiful sexy woman that's younger than me, when I'm not. But what doesn't make sense is they're saying they're not going to war, so they're not going to war and saying that I'm in a relationship when I'm not. So it's a bit messed up, basically. I want to mention a dream I had this morning. This dream was very interesting. So this is that young lady. She looked like just quite really young, but she's legal age, but 1 year on top of that. I had a dream that specific person I saw when I saw her at a community day at the beginning of this year. But the person in the dream was a little bit younger and didn't look like her, but there was symbolical information that was occurring in the dream that was telling me it was that person but in a different body shell. Inside I was crying when I saw her. That was in the dream. Not physically in the dream, but inside emotionally. And she was upset as well. Now, take into account this is just a dream. And she said when she saw me in a dream that the reason that you didn't see me after that one specific day that I saw her is because the police stopped her going there, because they wanted to rearrange her work course because of the massive age gap, and they see that as being an issue in authority when it comes to community places in modern times. There was a farm track that looked like Mosterton. I'd gone past on the bus to go to Bridport, and how do I word it? It was so that was a dream basically. So she was sitting at an air raid shelter on the outside ledge on a gravel travel pathway, something like that, one of those paths, public footpath basically, in a nice area. I put it in spiritual meaning to see what the spiritual meaning is, because obviously she told me that she's got a boyfriend now, and that she's been made pregnant also in the dream when I was speaking to her at the air raid shelter, when I spoke to her for that short period of time in the dream. When I put all this together to find out the spiritual meaning, it came up with some very interesting information, and it's to say that that person was what's the word in, let me just see if I could get see if it's on there, give you a bit more detail. Got my Facebook up, I'll put it on there, you see. Just what was it worded as? Being a mother suggests that you're being blocked by external forces, missed timing, and irreversible life changes. That's one bit. Actually, I might just read it out just to make it a lot more easy. Right, the spirituality, the dream, reflects your deep empathy and subconscious processing of a fleeting encounter. Seeing someone unique, even briefly, can leave an energetic imprint. The air raid shelter symbolises hidden emotions of past protection, while her message about the police and a new life chapter, going to be a mother, suggests themes of feeling blocked by external forces and missed timing and irreversible life changes. Crying inside shows your compassionate heart absorbing her perceived sorrow. Key spiritual symbols: the air raid shelter represents a hidden place of safety, old defences or past event kept locked away in your mind. The police symbolises external authority, rules, interference, or a feeling that outside forces stopped a connection from growing. Pregnancy and motherhood signifies creation, new paths, and a final turning point where old realities shift into new ones. Too late now, in brackets. The farm track. Stop timing blade light to erections again, Downing Street. Right, the farm track up Moston Walkway represents your personal life journey moving forward and the familiar pathways your mind travels on your daily routines. Core spiritual means is a fleeting connection your soul is making peace with a brief encounter that felt meaningful, recognizing it belonged to a specific closed moment in time. Empathy for unseen struggles you felt her emotional weight in the dream, mirroring sensitivity to how the external events change people's lives. Acceptance of timing. The phrase "it's too late now" is a spiritual nudge toward closure, honouring that lives diverge and take separate permanent directions. So that's what it says on the internet on the spiritual meaning to the dream that I was mentioning, and that covers most of the day today, apart from the bike issue and whatever, and a couple of threats here and there. All the rest is what's on this recording, and it's now just gone 6:30 PM. So, and everything else will be updated on this. So it's the 17th of the 8th, 2026.